Welcome to the live stream. Mm. I know by this time you guys are sick of seeing me with my little lipstick over here. Summer night, mid-July. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. Uh, I was feeling some type of like on my throat. I'm having some cloves and ginger right here. Ooh. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. When you join in, make sure you're saying hi or kindly say hi. Let me know where you're watching me from. My good name is Omboy. You gotta spice yourself up as a black person. Hey, my good friends. Monk me, hi. How are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Cooking with is it Ciara or Chiara or what is it? Cooking with Chiara says hi. I think you say hi. Let me pull up the thing. My phone translates, so sometimes Ciara. Cooking with Ciara. Ciara. Wow. Such a beautiful name. Where are you watching me from? Welcome to the live stream, everybody. We are literally just getting started. You can start with the question on the screen, or you can also tell me where you're watching me from. My good name is Wamboi. I was born and raised in Kenya, and this is I Am Wamboi Live. Welcome to the live stream and welcome to the channel. Let me know, for those of you who are watching World Cup today, what's going on over there. Hi. Okay. So we usually start with like some silly questions like, does height matter in a guy? Uh, let me know what men think in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. Uh, how was your day? Let me tell you, I had a pretty much. Oh, and for those of you who are watching me from other places, right now it's 11:20 p.m. here in Kenya. Okay, I had a pretty much rough day. Like, electricity disappeared. We didn't have electricity for almost the whole day, and then at some point we didn't have water. Oh god. Um, Sadar Kantu, my good friend, how are you doing? Good to see you again. How was your day? How are you doing? Expositor guy says hello, Amboy. Hello to you. Good to see you. How are you doing? How is it going? Let me know how you're doing. Where are you watching me from? Cooking with Ciara says, can you give me a shout out and I sub? Okay, Cooking with Ciara. So who's Cooking with Ciara? Okay, you have a channel. Cooking with Ciara. I think I'm not that big, but yeah, big Big Shuya Dave says hi. Hi, welcome to the live stream. How are you doing? How is the going so far, guys? Let me know how was your day. Sada says we are not friends though, but I'm fine. Sorry, I have that habit to spoil the phrases to people. Okay, you know what? Okay, we are not friends, but you're my good friend. Oh, maybe I should be saying my online good friend. Okay. I think I'm now used to calling everybody my good friend. Oh my god. Uh-huh. How is the going so far? I'm kind of like feeling like I'm gonna catch a cold. So I'm here with hot water. You know, here in Kenya, something that we normally do when we are having a cold. So for example, this is water with cloves and ginger, and I'm going to chase the flu away. Okay, does height matter in a guy? Okay, of course, as usual, we start with like little silly questions here and there, and then as we progress, does height matter in a guy? Or even in relationships, especially for the men, do you think it's important? Is height really important? So that says one woman from Nigeria who's like in her early 60s calls me sometimes her love, and I tell her, tell that to your kids. Okay. You know, I think you wouldn't survive in England because everybody says darling. And they do not mean in a loving way, or like not like they're interested in you. Oh, come here, darling. Oh my god, that would literally melt my heart. So I'm guessing you would never survive over there. Too much love. Okay. Let me tell you, I like the British accent, but is in the British accent so cool. It feels like you have subscribed for premium. Especially, can you imagine like having somebody with a British accent in the house? Is like you've paid for premium. English premium. Okay. Does height matter in a guy? And as you guys answer that, I'm going to be typing other questions. Yeah. Don't you guys think that British English is premium? Premium English. Come here, my darling. Au revoir. Sana says, I got it, but it's nonsense to me, especially when someone says phrases they don't mean it. I like when they say love like you are alright, love. Oh, you alright, love? Yeah. Are you alright? You alright? But if it's for, it's like, okay, yeah. Oh, there's another one. There's another sweetheart. Like almost everybody in the US says that. It makes sense if Granny said, okay. But I think that's just like what we were talking about yesterday when it comes to like cultures. You know, language is part of culture. Thomas. No, I don't know if I can say my good friend anymore. But Thomas, good evening, Thomas, all the way from Germany. Good evening, dear one boy. England versus Argentina. 1-0 already. 1-0. Oh my! By yesterday, I said that I think Argentina will win. Wow, already catching up. I was hoping that I would start streaming before the game starts, but haha, today I was not having a good day at all. So, wow, good to see you. How is it going? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Sadar says, yeah, yeah, that's again what I cannot accept in Western European countries, because in Balkans or East Europe, we usually mean what we say, okay? I think there's the whole, what is it called? Small talk. I think in the US you would literally not survive, because I feel like everybody in the US does this small talk. How you doing? Good to see you. Oh my god. Really? Come here. Go there. But I understand it's a culture. It's so nice, especially if you're going through something you you're going through something rough, and let's say somebody meets you with such kindness, maybe sometimes it can feel good, but the fact that you really know that they do not mean it, they're just saying for formalities and stuff. Yeah. So that's it. And when I see in West Europe, they be smiling and saying hello, but I know they don't mean it, and it looks like they put up a facade. That irritates me. Really? What do you guys think about but I just feel like it's a difference in culture. I think the whole maybe small talk thing, being nice to people, is like a white thing. I don't know. And especially you guys who are God, these days you can't say anything. You feel like you're going to offend somebody. Mark says, yes, for example, oh Mark, good to see you. How are you doing? Yes, for example, I'm taller than 1 inch. Okay, does height matter? Like, does height matter to you? Would you date a lady who is shorter than taller than you are? Like, if you are, let's say, 5'8", would you date a lady who is 6'2"? Sarah says we also have small talk, but it's instead of saying how nice the weather is, people usually complain. Okay, I don't know. Do we have small talk out here? I don't. I don't think so. I think people here share real problems, like, oh my god, my dog died. Like, the cow that I bought recently is not producing any milk. That's the type of small talk that we involve ourselves in right here. Um, Mark says, yes, I wouldn't want to be eaten by a worm. Uh-huh. It does not make sense to me. This is another English thing. Yes, I wouldn't want to be eaten by a worm. Oh, elaborate. So sorry, guys. English is not my first language. What's a normal adult responsibility you secretly hate? Height matters. Oh, okay. You decided to go directly to the point. Height matters. Hmm. Yeah, so you wouldn't date somebody who is taller than you are. God, it makes sense. But I don't know why. Like, my parents' generation, I know somebody whose father is really short, and their mother is really tall, and it was never a problem. First of all, before I became an adult, I never saw like it's a problem. Right now, as an adult, is when I'm like, and so's father is usually really short, and they but I feel like, the whole why height matters is it has something to do with the male ego. You want to feel like you're the leader. You don't want your lady to have something bigger than yours. Yeah. I don't, so that's it. Sometimes in public transport, sometimes older men have a quick chat with me and I try to support the convo, but usually I don't know what to say and it feels awkward. You just say, yeah, yeah. It's really tough. Okay, there's another question, guys. What's a normal adult responsibility you secretly hate? Adult responsibility. Mark says, if I was only 1 inch tall, like a borrower, I would be afraid. Have you seen the film Downsizing? No. Who suggested? I think somebody suggested Downsizing to me. Who was it? Because I remember somebody saying that. Downsizing. Is it on Netflix? So that's it. Sometimes they might begin telling their whole life and their problems. Okay. Ooh, that's brutal. That's brutal. Yeah, like, for example, I think sharing problems is more. Yeah, I think people do not pretend here. Like, no, it's great. Google it. Uh, Can I get it on Netflix? Because I'll be checking on it. Downsizing sounds like a good one. Downsizing. Okay, there's another question. What's a normal adult responsibility you secretly hate? Probably, yes, it's amazing and funny. Okay. Okay, if it's on Netflix, let me check it out. You know, sometimes I even wonder why like, for example, this month I've not watched anything on Netflix at all. You know, sometimes I think you just get very much caught up with like, and nothing. I think he's scrolling. You know, like the fact that we're used to like, you're just scrolling, you don't focus on anything. So sitting down and watching a show feels like a lot of work for some reason. But anytime that I watch a show, I feel nicer than scrolling for some reason. Okay. What's a normal adult responsibility you secretly hate? Cleaning dishes? God. And I'm a lady. I can only imagine it. Does any man like cleaning dishes? Okay, I'm checking on that show. Ooh, England, Argentina. Live goal. Acting mature. Acting mature. So you're really not mature. What if you're really mature? Okay, but you know what? For some reason, it's like as an adult, even if, for example, let's say you just want to do childish things, can you really do them because you're supposed to be to act a certain way? Yeah, I think acting mature is also something. Okay, for example, this what is something that I like that is really childish? Sometimes I just want to be held like by my mother, you know, but can you do that? I'm mature like cheese. Okay. God. Okay. Downsizing. Downsizing. Uh, D. Downsizing much? Yeah. Don't move. Downfall, downhill. La, la, la. Yeah. We don't have it on Kenyan Netflix, I think so. Looking for downsizing. We don't have that, but you might like. No, thank you. Yeah. Haha, unfortunately, we do not have downsizing. Okay, Okay, keep telling me what's a normal adult responsibility you secretly hate. Okay. Max says acting mature. I said cleaning dishes. Uh Laundry. Sarah says question is hard. I guess I haven't become a full adult yet to reply. Oh my god. Okay, so you dislike acting mature. I have Peter Pan syndrome, I guess. Once I find a job finally, then I guess I guess job would be. Okay, I don't know, for some reason I keep feeling like I want to, like, okay, this feeling, like, this feeling, or like this expectation that as an adult you're supposed to keep a job, but sometimes, like, sometimes maybe you're not supposed to keep a job. I think wanting to have a job, even, let's say, for example, right now I eat and drink every other day. I eat and drink, okay, but there's just this feeling like I feel like I'm not a full adult if I don't have a job, you know. So maybe we are really not true adults, to be really honest. Okay. Next question. Harmless red flag you cannot tolerate. Tolerate. Made July. Uh, Downsizing. Okay. Are you still recommending the show, or is it the response to the question now? Might be out of topic, sorry, but one thing I don't like is that I have to match someone's expectations. Others at 25 already have family, car, house, maybe. Well, my time goes slower, I guess. Okay. How old are you? I think you said 20 something. Okay, you know what? That's another thing that I don't like, to be really honest. The fact that you're just sitting here, you're like, oh my god, I am 24. Before I before I started streaming, oh, you're 25. Oh, you're 1 year older than I am. Okay. Before I started streaming, I was scrolling and I saw this person. Uh, she had this picture of her. She had this picture of herself. I think when she was 22, and then I think when she was I think 18 or 19 or something of that sort. I just look at that picture, and then for some reason I just exited that, and I went to my camera, to my pictures or my gallery, and I was looking at pictures of myself in 2021, 2023. I'm like, and then I just felt this sadness for some reason. I felt this sadness, but it's just to think that, like, there are people who are like literally 24 and they are successful, like they are where they really want to be, and there's me who is here struggling. Okay, so I guess life is not similar. Mark says regional show may not be on African Netflix. You're 900? No way. I would think maybe you are in your 40s or 30s. I don't know. Slow drivers. If not, confident walk. Okay. Mm-hmm. Sadaka says some rush to marry because they think they won't be able to have healthier kids later age. Well, you can still be healthy in older age if you take care of health at young age and keep it healthy. Okay, and also you can also not, you can even take care of yourself and still not have children. I feel like sometimes nature have a way of taking care of those things. There are men who are having children at the age of 80. I don't know if you are here the other day when I was researching, and I found out that, like, an 80-year-old man can literally have children, although the children are more likely to have, like, disability, be slow and stuff like that. But see, just to think about it, but I was just gonna say, sometimes you feel like, oh my god, I've been left behind, or like, oh, people my age have this, have that, They have a car. People might, somebody who is 24 years old have a car while I have never owned a bicycle. You know, stuff like that. A red flag to a bull. A red flag to a bull. Oh, slow drivers. That's a, okay. Slow driving is a red flag. Harmless. Red flag. You cannot tolerate. Wow, I don't think so. I think fast driver, somebody who is really like up there. I think that's the red flag. But you know what? It's your red flag. Harmless. Let me think. Harmless red flags. Harmless red flags. And for your information, Sada, you're literally not out of topic. The thing is, like, I like when you guys lead the conversation or even say what you want to hear. Or not what you want to hear, what you want to talk about. Mark says fast and confident, driving slow. Fast and confident, driving slow like a sloth is dangerous. I think you would, first of all, like for example, for me, I can drive, but let me tell you, come and drive here in Kenya and see if you'll still say like you still say that. Okay, have you ever? I think driving out here, you have to be even a fast driver in Europe. If you're able to drive in African countries, you're literally a driver. Okay, because people are really arrogant. Easy. Okay, you would say easy if you're from UK because we drive on the left, but not easy. Not easy. Hey, people are so, what is it called? Arrogant. Rally driver. Okay. I challenge you to one day come to Kenya and drive. Sada says, well, confidence doesn't guarantee driving fast without risk of accident because circumstances can be unpredictable. Yeah. Okay, although I don't know. Okay, also the whole being confident, you see, like a man being confident over there driving and stuff. Okay, I feel like a man driving slow can be a red flag, but a lady driving slow is like, oh, she's so soft. My opinion. Mark says, I've been in deserts and motorbikes in Thailand, Bangkok. I've been in chaotic traffic many times. Okay. Maybe if you can drive over there, because out here, people are very like our traffic. We don't have traffic lights in most places, so you're just hoping for the best. There's motorbikes passing in the middle of the cars, so it's not always that easy. Oh, CJ, how are you doing? Hey, one boy. Hey, you. I think I've not seen you on these streets for a while. See, how do you? So how do you see at night? How do I see at night? There's light. How was I supposed to see? Ah. I'm great, just checking in, so you live. Okay, thank you for checking in. How is the going? Sada says, maybe a harmless red flag might be if a person has some nasty habits like burping or other stinky things, maybe. Okay. Yeah. Another one is like, why do men like doing this, like it's early in the morning for absolutely no reason. He just woke up and then he's like why? What do we call that? What do you like, coughs that are not going anywhere? I think that's literally a harmless red flag. Okay, another harmless red flag is having like a booger wall. Oh god, why? Okay. Mark says people that do that or cough for no reason is a pet hate of mine. Is a pet hate of mine. Okay. Okay, but I think men do that. Especially after men taking their that is like men start doing that type of stuff like like bro, relax, relax. First of all, you can just like cough like easy, you know, like ah. Yeah, that's really funny. Eh, eh. Ah. Red flag. Constantly checking on other people's phones. Like, okay, yeah, I think that's a harmless red flag. Like, okay, it's not bad to check, but it's like every other time you're up there, DCI, FBI, investigating. You know, I think that's also another one. Okay, another harmless red flag for me is like keeping talking about your ex relationships. Oh no, we are just sitting here, you're telling me stories about situations that you okay, you can share the situations that you've been through before, but I feel like if that's the every day that now we are talking about, oh, you know that one girl, no. I feel like that's a harmless red flag. It's not bad, but sometimes you just don't want to hear. You want to assume you're literally the first one. So we are sitting here and then you're just sharing about all these people. I do not want to hear about them. You know, let them stay in the past. Let me just assume you've never met anyone before. Yeah, so that's another one for me. Let me know yours. Harmless red flag you cannot tolerate. Okay. Yeah, unless it's essential for me to understand you, like some of these things you don't need to keep sharing. If coughing in a supermarket shorten, if co- wow, that's gross. If coughing in a supermarket short on sight, ooh, yeah, that's gross. And now, for some reason, I can't stop coughing. When we are talking about coughing. Okay, another harmless red flag. See, when you're using a spoon, I don't know, and I hope I do not do that. When you're using a spoon, there are people who are like, this is the spoon and this is the food. The spoon is over there, kicking teeth like, ha, sideways, like, you know, this is the spoon. This is how it's supposed to be like. Not like you're hitting up and down like with the spoon, like caw. It's like you're that's another harmless one. It's like you're just feeling pissed off for absolutely no reason. So that's it. Maybe when others are too okay. Oh, Maxes and space invaders. Okay. Is that in a relationship? In a relationship, do you have your personal space in a relationship? Do people have personal spaces in relationship? So that says maybe when others are too touchy, I don't mind a hug or anything, but not too much or many times. What if it's your girlfriend or you're in a relationship or oh bro, your tongue is the same color as my my tongue is the same color like you. Oh, I thought you said that my tongue is the same color like yours. I'm like, okay, now I'm just forced to check. No, no way. 1-1. Oh God, England versus Argentina. I'm still going with Argentina. So let me know. I don't know. Uh, Your tongue, hey, if it's a relationship, the closer, the better. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Oh, so you said my tongue is the same color as you. Wow, is that surprising? I don't know. I just watched a video where this is a white child. Like, I think most probably have never seen a black person. Okay, and then she was being shocked because she realized that she saw a black person and the black person's palm was not black. And then she's like, why is your palm not black? Like, why is your palm not black? Why is it white? Or like, and also your feet. I thought that was really funny. Oh, pink. Oh, so my tongue. Okay, pink. Why don't we have black tongues? You're brown. You keep saying that I'm black. So that's it. I don't even like too many hugs from my mom. If I had a girlfriend, either she'd be sick of it or I would. But I mean, it's unlikely for me to be in a relationship. So, wow. Okay. I would say maybe in a relationship, the more the touches, the better. But otherwise, I think no. Uh-huh. Okay, so you just do not like being in relationships. You're better off on your own. Wow. 1-1. Guys, for those of you who are watching, Argentina versus England. Let's bet. I said Argentina yesterday, so 1-1 now. Let's go. I've I've a great relationship with myself. Oh, okay. Okay, but is a relationship with yourself, is it enough? A relationship with yourself, is it enough? Okay, yesterday I was sharing, there's a video that I showed on the screen. There's this old lady, she was asked if she would go back, what would she do differently? She was married two times in her life, and she said she would never get married. She would never get married, she would stay single, she would explore. I don't know how true is that, or like, and why is it like every woman, especially in the old age, when you ask them what would they have done differently, they usually say they would never get married, almost all of them, or a ghost. Eh. Or a ghost. Ooh. So that's it. The thing is, when I get close to someone, I stop liking it fast. If I have an acquaintance, I might like associating, but when it's hanging out, more times I get bored too quickly. Okay, you get bored too quickly. Wow. I don't know if that's good or what. My fear is like getting close to a person. And then, I think men have this habit of like leading women on and getting close to women for some reason. And then you just drop them off. Or like you just lose interest, especially after. Okay, and I'm not saying that women are not looking for sexual relationships or they're not looking for uh intimacy, but I'm just saying I feel like most men usually show a lot of interest at the beginning of relationships, and then after you all sleep together, for some reason now you're busy. Okay, for some reason your phone goes off. For some reason, oh, I have a boys' night out. Okay, what happens with that? Oh, has happened. 2-1 for Argentina. Okay, seems like I'm gonna win. I wish I would have 2-1. Really? Oh, okay. Because I'm looking on my screen. 2-1. I think Argentina will win. Which one are you rooting for? Where is your boyfriend? In the US. Another one. Da-da-da. Let me put up a question. What's he doing there? He's living there. That's his home. Why? Do you have to have a reason to stay at your home? Like it's like it's like asking me why am I in Kenya? Because this is where I'm supposed to be. You could ask 1,000 questions. You can ask. You can ask. You know me, I answer every question. Okay. Okay, so of course with the silly questions, I like to balance so that if somebody is not feeling like doing the serious questions, you can always have a silly one. Haha. So that is, I don't like attachment, so I just avoid people immediately and just become a bit formal. When someone calls me friend just because I talked to him few times, it feels odd. Okay. Ew, and I know that's right because you said that I'm not your friend. Um, so that is, I feel like I shouldn't even initiate talking at all, just to mind my own business in peace. Yeah, but I feel like, honestly, I feel like it's wrong and it's a habit that men need to stop. If you don't see, like, if you don't think that you're gonna walk a path with a lady or like long term, just do not just do not involve, do not engage, because at the end of the day you end up like leading people on and then hurting them in the process. So yeah. uh Max says, oh, I must go, I have things to, you've things to glue. Oh, things to do. Okay. Okay, see you. Sarah says, I don't mean as in dating, I meant general human conversation. I don't want to date. Oh, okay. General. Okay. Okay, generally, okay, yeah. Okay, generally, okay, if it comes to generally, also me too, like, especially these days, I just, yeah, I think, but I feel like maybe because of online, you kind of have this force, is it an illusion or this feeling that as if you're connected to people, but you're really not. Maybe that's why I prefer talking to animals. Do animals talk? No, glue, many things to glue. Okay. Okay. See you. Thank you for showing up. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like sometimes, yes, it's good because I feel like you can't there's a saying in my mother tongue that says people, okay, how do I translate that? Like, people, it's just a quote that literally emphasizes the importance of people. Like, people are very important, not necessarily because they want help from you or you want help from them, but people are very important. So that's just basically what it says, and I kind of agree with it. People are very important. Without you guys, maybe I cannot be here. Without, we are in a, what is it called? Oh my god, English. What is that word? Like, oh, I will remember the term. So that says, because I know that, like, in general conversations, if I dated a girl, I feel like at one point I wouldn't like it and I would hate inside forcing myself to date someone. So I better leave the girls alone. Okay. You know what? And that's what we call self awareness. Because now you're not out there giving people false hopes. Okay. You're not out there leading people on. You're not out there, that's what we call self-awareness, because sometimes you really darn good well you really even don't want to be in a relationship at a particular time. Maybe you just want them for one specific day. Just say that. There's a lot of things. You can even be in a situationship. You can even be you can be in a situationship. You can be in a, what is it called, situationship. You can be in friends with benefit, but just coming on like, oh my god, I really like you, you're really beautiful, I want to be in a relationship, and just knowing deep down you don't want to be there. Yeah, I feel like that's why most people, at the end of the day, we get married and then you're like, oh my god, I just didn't want to do it. Okay, is cereal technically soup? That's the other question. Hmm. I kind of need to warm this. Summer nights, mid-July. Sadan says, also ruining other people's lives and their families as well. Many people do things without thinking of consequences. And that's, I don't know, sad. Yeah, very sad, really sad. I think it's really sad. Why is my screen not updating the messages? Yeah, I think it's really sad. It's literally really sad. And even with friendships these days, let me tell you, it's even very hard to make friendships because you're making friendships with people and then they give you this high hope. Oh, you have people to count on, you know, and then at the end of the day, you just end up disappointed. I kind of feel like we are better off. Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know why my screen stopped updating, but the laptop is okay. Sorry. Let me go back and read. Sarah says, friends with benefit and situationships are not good. It's ruining your whole life and also reputation. I want to feel peace of mind. I don't need this garbage. Let other people do it if they want. I want peace. Let me tell you. And also, there's another thing about even like celibacy. Oh, yeah, I know it's not it's not easy. It's you can consider it to be okay until you are over there ovulating and whatever. But I think like it's a good move when you focus on the goals or the things that you want to do. Maybe I think it's a good thing. Okay, having been outside, especially, I think I slowed down after university. I kind of like slowed down, and yeah, right now I'm focused with other things, but I feel like it's more peaceful right now. You're not sitting here wondering, oh my god, am I pregnant? What's going on? Like, you're not here thinking, oh my god, do I even know that dude's name? No, you're just sitting here peacefully, settled, all of those things. Maybe it's a good thing. You honestly, it depends with what you want to experience or how you want to feel. And I think there's time for everything. Maybe you slow down for like 2 years, and then the energy comes back, and then you get back outside. You know, let me check on the game. I still don't want to be left behind, but I know Thomas is going to be updating. 1-2. Yeah. Yes, people might say, but urges and all. Well, everyone has urges, but we are not animals to be driven by instincts. We are human beings. We build, we create. There are many amazing things in life to try. But see, we are literally animals. We are literally animals, but I think we are intelligent animals. You know, you can tell yourself no. It's not easy. You can tell yourself no, or you can maybe reroute that energy or use it to do something else or something. Yeah, maybe that's what we should focus on. Yes, the thing is, we are literally animals, but we are intelligent animals. Yeah, I think that's where the power lies. Because, and then knowing what you want, when you know what you want and you can't compromise on that, I think that literally leads you, or it gives you some direction. Yeah. Okay, next question. Ooh, I think this one is pretty much something that I have to say. What's the biggest lie society tells young people? Okay, let me type the question on the screen. I think it's better. Sadas says, nah, it's better to struggle doing good than doing only bad things. One relative that I have did lots of mistakes and he ended up being addicted to hard substances. Wow. So it's better to struggle doing good than doing only bad things. One relative, okay. Yeah, I think maybe that you know what? You gotta think, or sometimes you have to think, is it worth it? Or see the see what do I want to say? Why is my English so messed up tonight? um what I want to say is you want to see the bigger picture, like you want to look at the whole scenario. I think that have changed the way I'm doing things right now. For example, even me personally, I like to be vulnerable, especially even about say in Swahili, my good friend, especially I know you guys know my struggle, especially if English is not your first language. Is like there's this word, and then you're like, no, you guys will not understand the gist. But basically, I think something that have changed how I think or like how I look at things is looking at the long picture or seeing things in the long run. For example, even doing this YouTube, I'm gonna tell you for sure. Sometimes I'm like, it's not like it's helping me in any way, but I'm thinking about, okay, building is not easy, building something that's worthwhile is not easy, building something that, because I feel like we are debunking a lot of things on the channel, and I see a lot, especially when in the future I see a lot of, I am the creator and I have that thing in my mind. I'm like, this is what I'll be showing and all of that. I can see how I can create instead of just sitting around doing nothing. I'm choosing to do this. So yeah, so I can see that instead of doing nothing, I'm choosing to do this. But most of the time you're like, I'm wasting time. So I think I'd rather struggle trying to build something. uh Okay, you know what? I would rather just rob a bank and become rich overnight. But maybe because that's not an option, because I don't like the consequences, maybe this is better or something. I will learn. I will learn it for you to speak it. Okay, that's very unlikely, but it would have been cool if I knew it. I know. Yeah, 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 yeah. But you know what? I kind of like, see, being in scenarios where people speak in English really helps you to start thinking in English, because people like me whose my mother tongue is not English. It's a lot of other languages, Swahili, and I have another mother tongue. So big. So speaking English often helps you to think in English. So that's just because the only thing in Swahili I know is Hakuna Matata. I think that's the only thing every foreigner knows. Hakuna Matata and Jambo. Okay, if I spoke in English, I think most of you guys would unsubscribe. Most people who subscribe to my channel do not know Swahili. Yeah. Okay, let me check. Let me check how many people in my channel know Swahili. I can check the statistics or something. Okay, what's the biggest lie society tells young people? Again, guys, welcome to the live stream. My good name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. Let me see. Where do you check? Real time updating. Wow. When it comes to male, 82.7%, female, 17.3%. Woo! Yeah. Most men watch my channel. That's what this thing says. Okay, so I told you if I spoke in English, I think I would be alienating a lot of people. Let's see. United Kingdom 2.2%, South Africa do not speak English, India 4.1, oh, Kenya 13.4, US 18.2, okay, Nigeria, Germany, Uganda. Let me see if I can see your country, Balkans. Let me see, Canada, Philippines, Tanzania, Thailand. Wow, funny enough, there's not. Oh, you said it's not a specific country. Okay, Finland, Australia, Netherlands, Mexico, Thailand, Tanzania. Okay, there's no Eastern Europe here. Indonesia. Whew. Okay, so that says which is sad though. Many push English and other languages are like pushed aside. Yeah, I think there's this whole perception that like knowing English means that you're intelligent. Knowing English means that all of these things. We have this feeling or like is about supremacy. It's about supremacy. It's because people like the accent. People like being like Englishanized. That's how I call that. This thing is pissing me off because it's not giving me the chat on the screen. I think I'll do something to make it come back. It might spin a little bit, but I'll be right back, guys. English sounds very silly when trying to use its logic in my language. Okay, you know what, like sometimes when you direct translate things to English, they do not make sense. First of all, when I first started speaking English the whole day, or like even being around people who speak English, honestly, people would make jokes and see they don't know how to speak other languages, like make jokes, and I'm like, what are you saying? Does not make sense to me. Like, what? Okay. What's the biggest lie society tells young people? Like, oh, I feel like one of the biggest lie that society tells young people or tells me as a person is as if there's only one way, okay? And also trying to maybe for some reason I feel like the moment you're born, you're just being compared to people and you're being compared to this population on this statistic, okay? So I feel like the biggest lie society tells young people is like there's only one way. to succeed in this life. Okay, there's only one way. Like you gotta go to school, you gotta get educated, and then you gotta find a job. And it's specific jobs, you know. I feel like society takes the ability for us to choose what we want to do. I feel like society takes that away from us, especially because, for example, even what I'm doing right now, for me, I think it's silly because still I don't see how it makes sense. But at the end of the day, I think like society will be better if we are being able to adjust with what is trending, what are people doing at the moment. So that's one of the lies that I think society tells young people. Sada says, in many European languages, for example, Latin-based languages, what is your name? If to translate it literally is, how do you call yourself? When you translate it to your language, what is your name? It's like, how do you call yourself? Oh, many European languages. Like yours, when you translate it to English, is how do you call yourself? Wow. Let me see in Swahili. Naitwa nani? You know how to say, what's your name? How we say it in Swahili is like, unaitwa nani? That's how we say it. 2 words only. Unaitwa nani? That's how we say it. Shwapes. Hi. Good to see you. How are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Remind me, I think I've seen you in my live stream for a long time and then you disappeared. Where were you watching me from? Honestly, I forgot. I like remembering because I think that makes you guys feel connected, or that makes me feel connected to you guys for some reason. Yeah. The biggest lie society tells young people. Oh, I'm fine. I'm from Ethiopia. You know, I kind of thought that I know where you're from, but yeah, Ethiopia. How is Ethiopia? Which year are you in Ethiopia? Do you guys know that Ethiopia have their own calendar? And right now, what year is it in Ethiopia right now? Wow, Ethiopia, do you speak Amharic, right? I think Ethiopians are really cool. They have their own calendar. Okay, they have their own calendar. That's what we call independence. Game score. Is it game score? Oh. Where is England versus Argentina? Oh, the game is done between England and Argentina. 1-2. Argentina won. Oh, did they win or are they yet? Oh, okay, that's nice. So if I did bet, I would have won. Ethiopia. Let me see. Which year is it in Ethiopia? I heard, if I'm not mistaken, Ethiopia was never colonized. Yeah. Ethiopia was never colonized. They have their own calendar. Let me see. Ethiopian calendar. Ethiopian calendar. Images. Yes, I can speak Amharic. How do you say I love you in Amharic? Ooh. Ethiopian calendar. Wow. Ethiopian calendar this year. Let's look at this year. Ethiopian calendar today. You guys are in 2017. Okay, let me show you guys. They're in 2017. Which month is it? Today is September 11. Oh, 27. Okay. Which month are you guys in? 13 mothers of sun, moon. Okay. Shwapes, which month are you guys in right now in Ethiopia? Wow. And you don't use English on your calendars? This is interesting. 13 months. That's what we call independence. The only African country that was never colonized. So which month are you in this month? Do you guys learn English in school? That would be something interesting. Wow. They are in 2017. 2017. But I don't know. Okay, let me ask Google. Which day is it today in Ethiopia? Oh, I asked what day is it today in Ethiopia? And then this thing said Thursday, July 16, 2026. In the Ethiopian calendar. I love Ewadeshalhu. How to say you love somebody in Shewapes. Ewadeshala. Ooh. Ewadeshalhu. Ewadeshalhu. Wow, you can't even read this. Gregorian calendar. Oh, today is whatever 2019. It's 2019. Oh wow. Sadal says in the Jewish calendar they live in 5786. Wow, they are in the future. Sure, says, but and this just goes to prove that all of these things that we do in this world, they are literally made up. Made up. They are literally made up because time, calendars, all of these things they are made up. Because how do we have people having different things? Shawapa says 11th month, 8th day. Okay. Oh, 8 days a week and then 11. Okay, 2018. You're in 2018. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, welcome back to the channel. So that says, yeah, they kind of calculate how many years went since Adam was created. Oh. And then wow, okay. How many years went since Adam was created? Okay, so everything, like, that's why I usually say all of these things that we follow, they are literally made up. So you just have to choose your demon. Because if everything is made up, that means you have to choose what do you follow, what do you not follow. Yeah. Okay, what's the biggest lie society tells young people? Or something that you feel like is literally like a lie? Okay, I said there's only one way to this life, like rites of passage, birth, there's birth, circumcision, and then there's marriage, and then there is death. Okay, like the whole, okay, the marriage part, maybe it should be birth, procreation, death, because putting marriage is part of the what is it called, the rites of passage, makes it feel like you have to get married, or you have to, maybe procreation is the right word. Okay, let's see, rites of passage, let me type that. Ugh. I don't know. Uh-huh. Sadan says, I mean, time itself without calendar is massive. It can be, yeah, I don't know, maybe 6 billion, maybe more. Who knows? Yeah, it could be. I think it could be more years than we, even time of the day. Okay, of course, they set it according to what time do the sun rise, what time do the sun set. So that makes sense. Eves, how are you doing? Anyone out of order in here? I think we are kind of like in order, but we are being fascinated by Ethiopia. They have their own calendar, also looking at the Jewish calendar. Okay, and we have a question on the screen. How are you doing? I was just saying, like, the rites of passage is birth, or at least the ones that I was taught: birth, circumcision, marriage, death. So those are the rites of passage in a human existence. But I feel like it should be birth, procreation, maybe, and it should be an option. Maybe it should be birth and death. All these things in between are literally optional, really, right? What do you guys think about the rites of passage? Do you think, and I think I say this to the aspect of what's the biggest lie society tells young people? It's like being told like you have to go through all these rites of passage is literally out of place. Eve says Ethiopian women are nice to look at. I know you said that yesterday. They are really beautiful. Ha ha ha. Get yourself an Ethiopian woman. Ethiopia, yeah. I like their hair and stuff and their face card. Really nice. Yeah. Uh-huh. Sada says, I don't know why so many are saying this about Ethiopian women. I mean, there are other women as well that are beautiful, both in other African countries and outside. I think what people like about, because I gotta say, me personally, I also notice when a woman is beautiful. Maybe I'm supposed to be bisexual or whatever, but I don't. But I realize they have like this soft hair. This whole. Mm, people do not like when others have like this tough hair like the one that we have. Also, there's this soft look that they do have, this soft, like soft, for black women especially. Like, for example, for me, maybe I might not be the softest person you've ever seen. So I think that's what it is. And I think Ethiopian women and Somali women almost look similar. A lot of them here in Seattle. Okay. Eve says, I used to visit an Ethiopian bar and the owner, a woman, asked, are you a single man? Maybe you marry an Ethiopian woman. I asked her if she knew of any. What did she say? Okay. But I think when we have this, like, maybe like is it like a stereotype or an assumption? Now, if you're Ethiopian and you don't look like that, then you have this whole thing of like, oh my god, I don't look like everybody else. Ooh. I also feel like Kenyan women are pretty, especially coastal women from the coast. They are really nice looking. Okay, we are still at what's the biggest lie society tells young people. And I'm asking you guys, when it comes to the rites of passage, birth, circumcision, marriage, death, okay? I have this feeling like we should remove circumcision and marriage and make it optional, and then let it just be birth and death. So, because having these things as the rite of passage, then you feel like you have to go through every one of these, and if you do not qualify to talk when other people are speaking. So maybe I think, or maybe it should be birth, procreation, which is optional, death. Sarah says, I like Ethiopian music though. It sounds nice and catchy. I have never listened to Ethiopian music. Circumcision wasn't a choice for me. Tell me about that. Do they do it as a child? I know it's common in the US to do it as a child. Do they do it as a kid? Or it's like you do not get to do it? Yeah, here in Kenya there are people. Okay, like for my tribe and most of other tribes is compulsory, and then for some others it's like they do not do it, and others maybe do it when boys are young, like young boys. So it depends with community, but it's kind of like something that an expectation. Uh, so that is, I think one lie is that marriage guarantees happiness. Again, I'm not anti-marriage, but I mean happiness is not about status. You create happiness, you don't have it automatically. And uh, this whole feeling of like, uh, you you have to, and if you do not, never know. I think it's the same thing with people who want children. You know, I have seen parents or mothers who have told me, even my mother is not an example, she's told me, you never know true happiness until you have a little your own child. I'm like, how will I know unless I try? What if I try? This is a human being. You know, if it was something, for example, there are so many things that you don't want to do in life, but you can just try. Okay, maybe you can say, I never want to involve myself in a threesome. But you can try without repercussions, okay? But bringing a whole baby here, that's a baby. Like, we are talking about a whole baby. So, do I get to sample? I do not get to sample when it comes to things like that. And that's why I feel like telling us that this is what is supposed to be. And then now we have to try with our own bodies, or like try something that is that deep is really maybe out of order. If says for most of us it isn't a choice. It isn't a choice. I don't know. Okay, so you just don't do it. Okay, today I don't know why my English is not Englishing, or like I'm not relating. So is it like for some people it's not a choice? It's like they have to do it, and for others it's not a choice because it's something that is not it's something that they do not practice. So that is, well, depends also. If your child is born with health issues, you won't feel happy. Yeah, there's that. You know, that could go either way. Let me tell you, that could go either way. Like telling me that is the happiest thing that can ever happen to me, and then what if I try it? You're talking about a human being. This is not a joke. A human being. I cannot take them back. If I already bring them here, they are already here. I cannot be able to take them back. So I just feel like maybe that can be unfair, not having the ability to take them back. And it's like you're practicing with the child. I feel like most people with most things, we do not really want most of the things that we will try out in life, we do not want, we will not try them because we want to. We will try them because we have this feeling like we have to. That's what will make us feel more human. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, but maybe it really does. Maybe it really does change something in you. I can believe that it really changes something in you. Okay, guys, welcome to the live stream. My good name is Omboy. I was born and raised in Kenya. Guys, kindly like the live stream. Also, let me know what's the biggest lie society tells young people, in your opinion. Okay, I did say that the rites of passage are really unnecessary. That's what I'm saying. Okay, it's like there was, because nature takes care of itself. Okay, when it comes to birth and death, nature takes care of itself. But like all the other things that nature do not take care of, and they are literally man-made. Okay, I got a question for you, Sada, because you're saying that marriage is not the only way, or like it does not guarantee happiness. But doesn't the Bible say that you have to get married, or like there's only two paths? It's either you choose to serve the Lord by getting married to the church, or getting married to Christ, or you choose to serve the Lord through marriage. I think there's somebody who was speaking to me about that, and it kind of makes sense. So that it feels like it doesn't change for everyone. There are parents who throw their babies in trash, Yeah, that's sad. That's sad. That's sad. Okay. There's somebody who was talking to me, especially if you're Christian, saying that like as a Christian you only have two paths that you can take. Okay, it's either you decide to serve the Lord with your body in the church, in the capacity of like a nun, a sister, a father, or you choose to serve the Lord by continuing generations, by getting married, by all of those things. So I don't know, does it make sense? Like, What do you say about that? Because I think you've talked about your beliefs before. Why serve any god? Okay, I'm getting to you. I'm getting to you. I think that's something somebody who is Catholic told me, that like there's only two ways. There's only two ways. It's either you decide uh to serve the Lord by by becoming a nun, a priest, or something of that sort. If that's not an option, the other option is to get married. Like is to get married. Okay. So does his Bible says marriage brings tribulation for flesh or something, meaning that the ones who marry should remember it won't be easy. It says people can choose having a family or focus more on spiritual. So I think that was literally the question. So are you choosing to focus more on the spiritual side? I think I didn't know about the verse, but somebody's told me that you can only serve the Lord in two ways. Why serve any God? That makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, can you give me the verse? Okay, I'm assuming that you know the verse. Like, I am little. I think I only know two Bible verses by now. Um, but it also says marriage is also a gift and something. It says serve yourself and society. Okay, serve yourself, society, and humanity. Okay, but honestly, that's literally something in the Bible. Do you think like it's a form of, or do people just read what they want to hear? Do people read what they want to hear? Or what are people doing with this? So that's it. So it has its advantages and disadvantages. And ultimately, it's important for each person to decide personally their situation. Okay. But according to that Bible verse, maybe I have to look for the Bible verse. You do not get to choose that. There's only two paths. Do you need a God to tell you what good behavior is? No, no, and actually, no, I had to know from right or wrong. No, 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 no. I do not need God to tell me, oh, this is right or this is wrong. But I'm just saying, is like somebody who is really a believer and they read the Bible often said that to me. Okay, so I'm like, am I not reading the Bible? It's in First Corinthians 7:28. If I sent you correct verse. Let me check that out. First Corinthians 7:28. First. Ugh. Okay, let me tell you. First of all, I do not say that I'm the best believer, because actually I told you guys I do not go to church. First Corinthians. And let me tell you guys, it's really confusing for us because, for example, how Christianity came to Africa, it came through missionaries and also through colonizers. It's literally so confusing for you guys to, wow, no internet. Am I still connected? Okay. I think I said it's really kind of like unfair for you guys to okay, not you guys, of course, not me, but for those who introduce Christianity to us, it's really unfair for you guys to introduce something to us and then abandon it, because that's exactly what's happening. Okay, most people in the West right now have stopped believing. Well, people in African countries who this religion was brought to them. And we are literally here, we are literally willing to die for this religion, my friends. Okay, I'm trying to look for that Bible verse. Search. Okay. 1 Corinthians 7:28 teaches that, okay, 1 Corinthians 7:28 teaches that marrying is not a sin, but married life brings worldly troubles, and Paul's advice is meant to spare believers from unnecessary difficulties. In the New International Version, 1 Corinthians, but if you do marry, you have not sinned, and if a virgin marries, she has not sinned. But those who marry will face many troubles in this life, and I want to spare you this. Wow. Okay, but why do we keep getting married? Oh my God. However, Paul warns that married life comes with troubles in this life, referring to practical, emotional, and spiritual challenges that accompany marriage. These difficulties are not moral failings, but the natural complexity of shared life responsibilities and worldly concerns. So it does not say you have to serve the Lord through church. I don't know where that person got it from. She said to me that there's only two ways to serve the Lord. It's either you decide to get married or you decide to serve the Lord in the church. Sarah says, yeah, I notice people in Western Europe are not much into religion, but in Eastern Europe, people are very religious, mostly older people, especially elderly. Yeah, and that's where Christianity originated from, and now they are not believing in it. And for example, people like us, Africans, we were not Christians in any way before the coming of Christianity. We believed in trees, we were praying God in our own ways. If says, I was not raised with religion, I really don't know the first thing about being Christian. Okay? Well, no religion whatsoever. That's what I was saying, that if I ever had a child, like, I don't know how people would judge me, but honestly, I would maybe not talk to them about any religion. And then when they become of age, they just choose which one they want to get themselves into. Eve says, odd thing is that when I joined the US Army, that there were very religious people in there. That was very odd to me. Training to kill bothered me. It was very serious, but it didn't bother them. Wow. Yeah. See, and I think that's really the problem, especially what I'm talking about, like, and what Eve is talking about. Like, those people who came up with this religion are literally not following it. I feel like there's really a problem. And I see people who out here who are willing to die, give up their lives for the religion. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because we have to choose for ourselves. But all I'm saying is literally does not make sense for you to die for something that is not even, that was brought to you. And yeah, that seemed weird to me. Yeah, the thing is, most people who are in religions, any religions, okay, we want to seem as if, like, we want to put on this facade, like, oh, we are holy, 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 and that's the only thing. Well, the truth is, we are all human, and at the end of the day, so I feel like religion have this thing of, like, wanting people to pretend as if they are not human. Like, you pretend you're holy, you do not think about bad things, So that says Christianity originated with Jesus in Israel, in Middle East, not Europe. It just got spread into Europe later, first in Roman Empire and etc. But see, okay, I'm talking about in the context of, like, how Christianity got to Africa. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, we were just sitting here praying our little trees. Okay, not praying trees, but praying under trees, stuff like that. People were just sitting here doing a bunch of whatever they wanted to, and then this thing got introduced. So I'm not saying that it originated in Europe, but who brought religion into Africa? Yeah, they said that Eve says they said that God essentially gave them a pass. Wow. Okay, they give them a pass to kill people. Lord, that's yeah. But so and then how? Okay, how do you raise a child when without religion? What do you talk to them? Or do you have to first of all deconstruct religion yourself? Or what happens in that case? Because honestly, I think it's pretty much difficult. I would be feeling like I'm failing as a parent not to talk to a child about God so that they can have good manners. Says, but I think also parents use religion to manipulate children and to threaten you. Oh, the Bible says you should obey your parents so that your days can be added. But they do not read the other part. Sada says, oh, okay, 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 yeah, that's what I meant. Like, they justified it. Sada says, yeah, but this is not how the first Christians preached to others. The later so-called Christians did totally opposite of what Jesus said. Okay, because there's a book actually that is written in my mother tongue, talking about the things that the people who brought Christianity here did to people. Christianity was actually shoved down Africans' throats. Okay, they were not being begged. Okay, take this religion. No, you're going to take this religion by force. So it was being forced down their throat. So I don't think there's anything Christian about what that was, how that was being done. Eve says they handed out pamphlets. Can Christians serve in their all kinds of propaganda? Wow. Yeah. Yeah. But I feel like, let me tell you, in the next 50 years, I think people will, because right now already there's a lot of people who are asking questions in regards to religion. There's a video that I showed you guys here the other day. Let me see if I can find it. It's not easy to find, but let me see if I'll find it. Okay, and those who are joining in, my good name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, I think it's supposed to be not so far away. Oh, I think I found it.
What does that mean?
God is pro-life.
Yeah.
That's just what it means. Yes. God created life.
Didn't God kill everybody on Earth except for Noah and some farm animals on an ark?
I'm sorry.
Didn't God kill everybody on Earth? I see this sign here that says God is pro-life. What does that mean?
God is pro-life.
Yeah.
That's just what it means. Yes. God created life.
Didn't God kill everybody on Earth except for Noah and some farm animals on an ark?
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm talking. I think that's exactly the video that I was talking about, or I wanted to show you guys. So I feel like what I was saying is, in the next 50 years, see, more people will be questioning it. And if people who, okay, and I think you don't need to explain to somebody. If somebody want to believe in something, they literally need to. But as far as you cannot explain something, it just sounds like a, like it can sound like it's a scam, for some reason. Eve says they handed out pamphlets. Can Christians serve in the army? All kinds of propaganda. Okay, because a Christian should follow Jesus' example. Jesus never forced anyone to join him. He let people choose. Later, so-called Christians used religion in politics and also converted others by force. Yeah, and see, you can see why some people. It's like you're supposed. How are you supposed to be happy being forced into something? Okay, the same thing with like, uh, even English was forced. Languages were beaten out of people, and not even to spread or propaganda or anything, but it's just to say. Sushi Vera says, Jumbo, good to see you. How are you doing? Welcome to the live stream. Sada says, and what others did is nonsense and totally anti-Christian. Okay. And I think we are talking about Christianity because it's something that's what's close to home. But I think it's the same with many others. So what I say, or what I would say is like, just make sure whatever you're doing, like whatever Eve said, like, you do something that is completely okay for yourself, because at the end of the day, if you are waiting to be controlled or like to do things because okay, do what's human. I think I would go with like, do what's human. Okay, or do whatever you would want people to do to you, or whatever that is. Oof. What is the biggest lie society tells young people? Okay, we are still on. The thing is, my thing is usually very well. I was talking about stages of rites of passage. Okay, and I was saying maybe we should only stick to two of them. But then let's stick with those ones that are natural. Okay, that are going to happen anyways. Okay, and what others did is nonsense and totally anti-Christian. Okay, so that says, yeah, I get it, but Jesus would have never approved what other people did with sharing his teaching. He hates what Crusaders did in Jerusalem, as well as what colonizers did. What did Crusaders do in Jerusalem? I'm actually totally unaware. What did they do? I don't know why. I think the camera is like, has like a cloud there, like some oil or something. Does that make me look better? Even though I'm black, I'm supposed to be seen, like it's supposed to be clear, right? Yeah, I think that makes it better. Eve says, Holy Roman Empire in Europe, and then it spread through colonization. Am I right? Isn't that how Christianity really came to Kenya? Yeah, that's how Christianity came to Kenya. Yeah, that's how Christianity came to Kenya. Okay, I think it started in Rome. What was the name of the first missionary that arrived in Kenya? Okay, let me check that out. Oh, Johann Ludwig Kraft, a German missionary, is recognized as the first European missionary to establish a mission in Kenya. Yeah, in the mid 19th century. So yeah, that's how Christianity came to Kenya. Euros spread it. I think you said Europeans spread it to the US, and they were very repressive about it. Okay. Okay. I didn't know about that. But was it shoved down people's throats? Sada, okay, I think you're typing again. Messi the goat. Okay, you know what? That's why yesterday Thomas asked me what am I going with, the game between England and Argentina. I went with Argentina because I know Messi would be playing. 2 goals in 5 minutes. But he's still not better than Ronaldo. Are they playing England? Yeah. Yeah, they did play. I think the game is already over, right? Oh yeah, the Puritans. Okay, what was I? Okay. So how Christianity spread in the US? People were choosing for themselves. That's pretty much unlikely because that's not what happened out here. Cedar says, I don't have much knowledge on the Crusades, but it was a series of wars between Crusaders and Muslims. The Crusaders, like English ones, fought them to free the Holy Land from Muslims. Oh, wow. But what makes them think? What makes them think that their religion is better than the other people's? It is. It is. Okay. You're asking, it is referring to what? Are they playing England? Yeah. Argentina and England. Yeah, they played today. So that was in medieval times. Yeah. I think the thing is, people like to say that we gotta move on, And I think people only say that because their people did not go through that. Yes, the thing is, it was back in the day, but right now, okay, we have to move on. But I think like history is also important in determining if something is worth your time. Yeah. But you know what? For example, like questioning that, like out here, even the old people are really so much into religion and all of that type of stuff. You cannot question anything. You'll be like, oh, you're gonna go to the devil. See, and that's what makes me think like, I think God would want people to use their brains. Okay. Next question. Okay. The other question is like, and you know what? I am just feeling so hungry for some reason. What can I get myself? Maybe bread. If it says Christians missionaries in Western US created reform schools to Christianize. Whoa, Lord. Natives here. Oh, to make the Native Americans Christians well into the early 20th century. Okay, I think the native people have to be admired. Okay, the thing is, the fact that they didn't give in, that's what made them to be like, actually I think they are literally the minority right now. Well, that land belonged to them, so for them being stubborn did not help them. But at least those who are still there, they still have their languages, they still have all of those things. But see what happens to like black people. It's like the language is being beat the crap out of you. You don't need to remember your language. But who does that? Like you cannot, you're not allowed to remember your language or speak your language. You're not allowed all of these things. Like, I think that's really unfair, but that's neither here nor there. But wow. Yeah. 50 years from now, and I think we will see such a very much reform. People will stop, most people will not be believers, to be really honest, because the current generation is asking questions. So that will be a fun thing to watch. So that says, what is ironic is when people who consider themselves Christian, okay, what is ironic is when people consider themselves Christian if their country is at war. Both priests from both countries pray to God to help them win. Okay, that's another thing. Like, there's so many questions. Honestly, the more you ask, let me tell you, I think if you want to be a good believer, you're better off not asking questions. Because if you ask questions, then you're not gonna be believing. Okay, can you see that? Oh God, please help, let our country win. Bruh, I'm pretty sure the war that was happening, Israel, US, Iran. I'm pretty sure the Iranians were, and I think they are Muslims. They were praying to Allah for them to win. US priests were praying. What is wrong with my English today? You know, Eve says, my sister is a lawyer in Alaska. She worked with indigenous populations. The languages are dying out up there due to repressive policies. Wow. Okay, and the fact is, the more they the more they live in these reserves, honestly, I feel like it's so much unfair. They're like, the US have grown so much, and some of them are still stuck in these reservations. I kind of feel like maybe they should loosen up and like interact with other people, learn English, get these jobs. Like, they deserve all of those good things. But then on the other side, I see why maybe they want to stay like that, or like to live like that. But for some reason, I'm like, loosen up. You guys have already lost the fight. Loosen up, interact, learn English and all of that. But also, yeah, I think in the next few years also these languages will disappear. And this is also something that I'm talking about when it comes to African languages. Okay, we will still have these languages, but less people will be knowing African languages also. Most of these languages will die out. Maybe it will be nice to only have one language so everybody can communicate with everybody, but I feel like looking or like us speaking the same language is really not, it's interesting, or like it's nice because you can be able to communicate from different places. But I think the differences makes the world beautiful. The fact that I look the way I look and you look the way you look is what makes the world beautiful and worth living. What if we all look similar? So that's it. If it's fair to us, then which side God would take? Well, neither. He wants people to live in peace regardless of nation. He doesn't approve current wars. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I think for you to be a nice believer, do you go to church? Because you can believe right now, you honestly have to question and like do things your own way. Eve says, God's on my side. I'm betting you for sure God is also on my side. Okay. And everybody say, oh, God created me. So who is playing the World Cup final? I think yesterday Thomas told me who is playing. But it's on Sunday. What was the team? I don't know who is playing final. Or maybe it will determine who is playing. If you are watching the World Cup, let me know who is playing the World Cup final on Sunday. Oh, it's not okay. Saturday? Maybe it will be Saturday in the US, but it will be Sunday in Kenya. Saturday, what time in the US? Because most of the time, like right now, we are already in Thursday. We are already in Thursday out here, and you guys are still in Wednesday. Oh no. Okay, you guys just woke up and it's Thursday. What day is it today? You just woke up and it's Thursday? No, let me check. What's going on here? Right now it's Thursday. 105 local. Are you guys still in Wednesday? I would think so, or something. No. That does not make sense. World Cup ended when the US lost. Really? Oh, I don't think so. And also, and especially, I don't think anybody was cheering US, to be really honest. Maybe you guys were. 3 p.m. Wednesday. Okay, so I was right. 3 p.m. Wednesday, and it's Thursday. It's already Thursday here. So that's it. We can actually come to conclusion ourselves, comparing that Jesus said that hate, violence, or killings, and what people who call themselves Christians do. Okay. Yeah. The thing is, I don't think there's anybody who is too saved for anything. Like, we are all sinners in our own different ways. So sitting here and acting as if, oh, I'm the holiest one, like, does not help at all. L33 motion, how are you doing? Argentina versus Spain finals. Argentina versus Spain. I think Argentina will win. I have a feeling, I think I'll go with Argentina. Although Spain also can pull up a very good game, but I'll go with Argentina. I this time around I did say that I'm going to be following the World Cup, but is it fun when you're watching alone? I don't think so. I'm good. How are you? I'm good. I'm good. I have this habit because of streaming late at night. Now I'm already hungry. Let me get myself something while you guys are still typing. Yes, Argentina just won against England. Yeah, I was following. I think Thomas was also updating me here on the screen. Ooh, I think Argentina will win. What are you guys betting on? Wow, there's no rice. Yeah. Someone nice, mid-July. Sorry, guys. Sada says, for example, he said that the law. Huh. Let me read from the laptop. I'm still warming some tea here. You know, I gotta be focused. Sada says, for example, he said the law said don't kill. He said to not show hatred to your brother. He pointed to the fact it's not only about not killing, but to remove the hatred that will make people kill. Okay, but can that really happen? Can we, you know, because even by myself, sometimes I catch myself being jealous. Okay, sometimes, you know, sometimes this thing that I normally do sometimes when I feel jealous of somebody, I will tell you, like, I feel jealous, and then I feel okay. Sorry guys for the is it inconsistency or what? Okay, now this is good now. At least I'm set with my food here. Let's go. Okay, so I think you was, for example, he said the law said don't kill. He said to not show hatred to your brother. He pointed to the fact that it's not only about not killing, but remove the hatred that will make people kill. Okay, so I was just saying sometimes I'll catch myself being jealous because we are all human. I'll catch myself being jealous, and then I have this feeling I want to tell somebody that I'm feeling jealous because I just feel like this is not something that you should feel, because jealousy is the root to most of the evil things that we do. So can you help yourself? Can you help yourself? It's a human feeling. It's just like the way you feel love towards somebody. The way you feel this strong liking. Can you help it when you like somebody? Can you help it? So that is the Jewish law said no to adultery. Jesus said, whoever looks at a woman so he desires her already did adultery in his heart. This also applies to women. Okay, but can you help it when it comes to desiring a woman? Can you help it? Or desiring a man? You just look at them and you like them. And this is, so that I don't about others. I don't, but from what I know, some Christians pray for the war itself to end for both, whereas others just themselves and choose to be selfish. Yeah, I think most people pray that their countries to win. Oh, please help that our troops, our sons and daughters, help that they are not killed and all of that. So but the idea is not only to reject a wrong action, but to reject the thought about the action. Okay. Okay, I see that. If says somewhere deep in scripture it's written to give Eve money. You all need to look it up. I'm waiting my day. Okay, you know what? Just become a preacher. And we will give it to you without knowing. 10% offerings and all that type of stuff. So yeah. You okay? Okay. So that says desire can be strong but not impossible to control it. It might require great efforts, but efforts are worth it. Life is a continuous battle, whether it's hatred, immoral desires, and etc. Desire can be strong but not impossible to control it. Okay. Yeah, but desiring something does not make you a bad person, does it? Or desiring somebody does not make you a bad person. Ooh, wow. Yeah, so we can all see like how maybe some verses are used, manipulated to look the way we want. If says right now I have been in desire for chocolate, can't stop eating chocolate covered peanuts. Okay. Ooh, okay. Is that a bad thing? No, I don't think so. You desire the cravings. It's like you're craving. Okay. For example, for women who are ovulating, you have this desire. Okay. Is that a bad thing? No, I don't think it's a bad thing. But you know what? Yeah, the Bible says what it says. Yeah, but I feel like if you're married, maybe you shouldn't desire people. Or if you're in relationships, you shouldn't desire. Eh. Let's see. Wow. Okay, let me type. This will be the last question, guys. Tomorrow I think I should show up a little bit early. Okay, within the same time, but a little bit early so that I can have more time. I'm going to lay down for a nap before I go to the gym. Okay, thank you for showing up. Okay. You go to the gym later on. Most people usually go to the gym when they wake up. That's a different type one. Okay, the last one. The last question that we're doing before we end the live stream is, are people genuinely busy, or are you just not a priority? So that is, let's say if a man sees a beautiful woman and he feels attraction alone is normal, it's natural, but it's important what you do with it. If you feed it, it will lead you to things you might regret. Yeah, I think I gotta give you that one. I gotta agree with that one. You okay?
Just watch some TV.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So desire can be strong, but not impossible to control it. It might require great efforts, but efforts are worth it. Life is a continuous battle, whether it's hatred, immoral desires. Yeah. Okay. Let's say if a man sees a beautiful woman and he feels attraction, attraction alone is normal. It's natural, but it's important what you do with it. If you feed it, it will lead you to things you might regret. I gotta say, even as a lady, like sometimes you desire or like you want somebody, but does that mean you should have them? I don't think so. Maybe it means you should keep. Okay, maybe you shouldn't desire them, but maybe if you keep it at that, because I feel like sometimes you do things and then you regret. So I can see what you're saying. If you like drinking alcohol, drinking is not bad, but if you abuse with it, drinking too much until you get drunk, you might say or do things you later regret and affect your own health. Yeah, yeah. It's about. I think this whole conversation is about seeing the bigger picture. Okay, looking at the bigger picture, seeing how does this affect you in the long run. So yeah. Ah, okay. So I think the things that religion pushes or the Bible pushes are things that are practical, are things that can be done, but that does not mean the fact that these are things that can be done does not mean that they are easy. It means like maybe you need to put in some work. Okay. We have the last question here. Are people genuinely busy, or are they just, are you just not a priority? Okay. You see this whole thing about, oh my god, is it true that like when somebody is not interested or like you're not their priority, they will not make time? Because when it comes to like if you're genuinely in love with somebody, should you create time even when there's no time? Or maybe the question should be, um if you cannot be able to squeeze somebody that you love into your schedule, do you love this person? It's not about being perfect, it's about trying our best to do good. Okay. Okay. Oh, Schwapes, you says you're back. Okay. And I'm here. And even if we fail, then to get up and do better and keep doing good. Oh, okay. Yeah. That, I think that's and I don't think that's about any religion. That's about life. That's about life and humanity and stuff like that. So, okay, so to the effect of this will be our last question, guys. And if you're just joining in, my good name is Wamboy. Guys, consider subscribing. Thank you so much for the continuous support, especially, and I know for those who keep showing up is because you enjoy the conversations, the fact that I read everybody's message. So, thank you so much for always showing up. I do not take that for granted, even in the tiniest bit, okay? Are people genuinely busy, or you're just not a priority? Okay. And I ask this to the effect of like, if you cannot be able to squeeze somebody into your schedule, do you love them? Okay, that will be our finish up question. Okay, I feel like, okay, let me give my opinion on this one. I feel like if you love somebody, you're never too busy for somebody that you love. Okay, you will sneak here and there just to make it happen so that you can speak to them, so that you can see them, so that you can have a date. I think you're never too busy for the people that you love. So that is, yeah, even Jesus said he didn't come to the righteous people, he came for the sinners to help them, which are all us. Yeah, that's it right there. We are all sinners. We judge others for sinning in different ways. You know, somebody will do something, then you're up there, oh, judging, saying stuff. But the truth is, we all sin in different ways. Yeah, I think now because I'm ending the show, I will not eat this food. I'll eat later because I think it's weird. When you get, I usually eat on the live stream, but sometimes it's not this. That's the most beautiful thing. So are people genuinely busy, or you're just not a priority? What do you guys believe in? If somebody can somebody be too busy for somebody that they love? Okay, I think my answer is like no. You can never be too busy for somebody that you love. You like literally try to squeeze them into your schedule. Yeah, oh my god, these have been how many hours? 2 hours. 2 good hours. Okay. We're literally winding up, guys. Let me wait if any one of you guys is typing. I mean, we can try giving advice and help others, but not the attitude. I help you because I'm better than you. But not with the attitude, I help you because I'm better than you. Maybe rather, I help you because I want you to be happy. Oh, yeah. But see, when it comes to helping, does anyone? Okay, I think there's people who genuinely help you because they want you to be happy. But mostly leave that to your parents and maybe other people who are close to you. Most people help you because they feel like they are better than you. Can you blame them? I don't think so. Okay. Uh-huh. Sada says, oh, they want to feel useful for others, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it's bad if it's narcissistic, okay? I have this theory that most people help maybe so that they can tell others, okay? See that person? I help them with this and that. That's why sometimes I think, honestly, that's why even as a person, as who I am, that's why sometimes I try to work very hard when it comes to working on myself, because the last thing you want is to be receiving help from people, because people, and I'm not saying that people are bad people, but I'm just saying you're better off if you don't need help. Okay, you're better off if you're not out there begging. Okay, you're better off if you got yourself. But sometimes, most of the time, you do not get you do not have yourself. Okay, so yeah, maybe that's why we should strive to be better so that we can be able to have ourselves, because at the end of the day, yeah, most people will have you, but they will tell everybody they helped you. Or even right now, what people do right now, when somebody helps you right now, you know what they do? They record you. They post you. Oh, I helped you. I gave you some place to stay. You know, that's what's up. Okay. And guys, we are literally winding up. Sadat says, again, here's the example Jesus said. He helped others, and even when he helped others, he told them to never tell anyone how they got helped. Okay, maybe that agrees with that. When you help somebody, maybe do not film. You can film them if they want to be filmed, but not necessarily. So I think it goes down to having yourself. That's what's up. It goes down to having yourself, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Even sometimes your parent can help you, and they keep saying it, but if you have yourself, yeah, if you have yourself, I think you got the most important, because at the end of the day, the only person that will always have you is yourself. I think that's the notion, or like the perspective. Unfortunately, most of the time we can't do everything for ourselves. That's why we try to be nice to others so that they can show up for us in times of need. Ooh, okay. So you guys, I think we are winding up. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow same time, I think hopefully tomorrow we will not lose electricity, and I'll try to do 2 shows. I'm trying to like do as much as possible before I get tired. Maybe get monetized or whatever, because right now we are just dealing with the watch hours. So if you have some extra time, you can play back the live streams. And I really appreciate every one of you guys for showing up, subscribing, sharing, whatever you do here, having a conversation with me, because now I feel like I know you guys, and I think I have I look forward to streaming, because I think we have created a good community out here. Okay. Sada says about genuinely busy or not a priority. It's, I don't know, for some they can be genuinely busy, for some don't care about us that much. Yeah, it's not that serious, like you just don't mean anything to them. Okay, so thank you so much, Sada. What's the time out there? What's the time in is it Balkans? Okay. I have this feeling that European time mostly matches with African time, or like we are like 1 hour ahead or 2 hours behind. But anyway, so right here is 1:28 a.m. and it's on Thursday. So what I'm going to do is like I'm going to eat, maybe watch something for a little bit, and then call it a day. Yeah. So thank you so much everybody for showing up. I hope nobody's typing something. Let me borrow some time to see if anyone is typing. 1 minute. Sometimes I end the live stream and then I see a comment coming through. Well, I cannot say anything about it. Ooh, it's 1:29 a.m. Oh my god, we have the same time. It's 1:29 a.m. Okay, I think you like sleeping late like me. Sometimes I sleep 2 a.m. Okay, so thank you so much. Like Eastern Europe time matches East African time. Oh wow. Okay, that's nice. And Western Europe time, they are like 1 hour or 2 hours ahead or 2 hours behind. Okay, it makes sense. So you're also tired, and everybody else. So guys, I think I'm gonna see you all tomorrow because it's East, I guess. Okay. I'm getting educated. You know, I think you're the one who told me that. I think, are you the one who told me that Europe and Asia is one? It's one landmass. I didn't know that. About Eurasia. Who told me about that? But I think I learned it through this channel. I didn't know about Eurasia. We were never taught about that here. We were taught about Europe and Asia as 2 separate things. So, that's a nice learning experience. Okay, you know, I keep saying, yes, it's one continent. It's not separated. Yeah. Okay, maybe tomorrow we are gonna maybe even talk more about that. So thank you so much guys for tuning in, and until tomorrow, bye bye. Have yourself guys a good night and a good day. For those of you who it's daytime. Okay, so tomorrow we see you guys same time. But if you're subscribed, you literally don't need to be told what time, because you're gonna get notified. So thank you so much. Until next time, bye bye.